An Arctic blast, which is a sudden and an intense surge of cold air from the North Pole, has brought some heavy snow and ice across Europe. And this has disrupted travel and public services throughout the continent. And according to the airport authorities, some 7,000 flights have been cancelled at the Schiphol airport in Amsterdam on Wednesday, marking the 6th consecutive day of disruption at one of Europe's busiest hubs. Airport authorities set up beds before and after the security checks and provided pillows, blankets, food and drinks for the travellers. And the authorities have also warned travellers that more flights could be further disrupted in the coming days. The train services to and from the airport have also been affected. The sub-zero temperatures across Britain froze the floodwaters on Port Meadow and the surrounding plains in Oxford, turning them into a natural ice rink. The drone footage showed the skaters, including a 77-year-old man, gliding across the frozen floodplain. Now, heavy snowfall has also been witnessed in Belgium, France and Scotland. Now, 7 people have died in the weather-related accidents as the continent is reeling from the most bitter cold snap of the winter so far. Now, Britain is also bracing for a pretty dramatic shift in weather today as Storm Gerati makes its landfall. The Meteorological Office has issued an amber danger to life warnings for snow and wind and the second highest alert level, calling this a multi-hazard event. All right, now joining us on the broadcast, we've got our correspondent Ollie Barrett, who's joining us live from London. Ollie, tell us about the weather conditions at the moment in the place where you are in London, and also about the storm Gerati that is expected to make its landfall.
The weather conditions where I am in London are fairly average for this time of year, not particularly cold, not wet, no snow, but things may well change significantly in the hours ahead, and different parts of the country are going to see some different but difficult weather conditions over the coming couple of days, according to all of the forecasts. Storm Gerati certainly is going to cause some major disruption to the UK, as we have seen and as you were outlining in some of those parts of Europe that have seen record snowfall, very sub-zero temperatures and major disruption to things like transport and travel networks. It's being called a weather bomb, what we might see here in the UK in the hours ahead, and that's because you have this possibility for the current milder air to collide with the cold air coming in, and in places where you have rain and sleet and drizzle, that might become snow very quickly, and where that does happen you may see some very strong snowfall indeed. Now, in parts of Scotland, for example, over the course of the last week or so, when we also had some sub-zero temperatures and heavy snow, many of those parts of the country have still not really fully recovered from the previous cold snap, and so to have this further weather system moving in could cause significant disruption on top of disruption that was already there. Hundreds of schools in different parts of the UK are closed at the moment. Train services, particularly in the southwest of England, for example, today are already beginning to shut down, with many rail companies saying simply don't travel for at least the next 24 hours because many services aren't going to be running. And this storm will also bring with it, we expect, very strong winds and heavy rain as well. So as you can see, in different parts of the country, people will experience this storm in different ways, but it will cause significant disruption, and people are being warned, as I say, in different parts of the country of the potential as well of danger to life.
Right. Now, it is fairly pleasant, as you put it, where you are in London, but this weather bomb, Storm Gerati, that is expected to make its landfall, how long will its impact last in Britain?
It's likely to impact for the coming few days at least, because the impact is going to be so significant in different places. Where you do see record snowfall, that's going to cause disruption, for example, until the weather warms up a little bit and some of that snow melts. And in the intervening period, where we do get to the point where the snow is melting and that causes icy and slushy conditions, that is dangerous in and of itself as well, particularly on the road network. So people really are being warned about the coming days, not just the coming hours. And where there are people who know vulnerable people, the elderly, for example, they're being asked to watch out for them, to make sure they limit their movement outside of their homes and their houses as much as possible. In parts of Scotland, we have seen some vulnerable people being cut off from local shops and food. That's the kind of thing that I think we're going to see more of in the days ahead. And as I say, the effects of it are likely to be felt for days, even if the temperatures do start to warm up at some point in over the course of the weekend in parts of the country and into early next week.
Ollie Barrett, thank you very much indeed for joining us from London and getting us those updates there. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.